Welcome to today's deep dive into India's latest diplomatic and economic maneuvers. This presentation covers the critical February 5, 2026, Ministry of External Affairs briefing. We are exploring a transformative moment in India's foreign policy, where energy security meets a historic shift in trade relations with the United States. Let's break down how New Delhi is balancing global pressures with national priorities. At the heart of India's foreign policy lies the doctrine of national interest, a guiding principle that is anchored on three critical pillars: energy sovereignty, economic pragmatism, and strategic de-risking. These pillars collectively shape India's approach to international relations, trade, and security, reflecting a nuanced balance between global engagement and safeguarding domestic priorities. India's foremost strategic imperative is energy sovereignty. With a population of 1.4 billion, ensuring affordable and reliable energy access is paramount. The government's procurement decisions are firmly rooted in market conditions rather than bloc politics or ideological alignments. For instance, India maintains open channels with countries like Russia and Venezuela, despite geopolitical pressures and sanctions affecting global energy markets. The Ministry of External Affairs has clarified that there is no agreement to halt oil purchases from any particular nation. Instead, India's energy strategy is commercially driven, prioritizing the needs of its vast domestic consumer base above all else. This market-driven approach underscores the government's commitment to securing energy supplies that are both affordable and accessible, thereby supporting economic growth and societal well-being. India's engagement with Venezuela provides a clear example of how commercial viability and legal conditions dictate energy partnerships. Over the past several years, imports from Venezuela have fluctuated in response to sanctions and international dynamics. While imports were paused during heightened sanctions, India remains open to resuming trade if conditions permit. Indian public sector undertakings continue to maintain strategic partnerships with Venezuela's national oil company, PDVSA, signaling readiness to adapt as the geopolitical landscape evolves. On the economic front, India has recently secured a significant breakthrough with the United States. Following direct discussions between Prime Minister Narendra Modi and former President Donald Trump, both countries agreed to a reciprocal tariff reduction, finalizing an 18% tariff cut. This development is poised to provide a major boost to India Make in India initiative by easing access for Indian products into the US market. The tariff reduction is expected to particularly benefit labor-intensive sectors, fostering job creation and contributing to broader economic growth and prosperity. This achievement exemplifies India's pragmatic approach to trade, leveraging bilateral relationships to unlock new opportunities without compromising its strategic autonomy. Parallel to US engagement, India is also advancing a historic free trade agreement with the European Union. Currently in the phase of internal legal vetting in both India and the EU, this agreement reflects a strong political commitment on both sides to implement the deal promptly. Once finalized, it will further enhance India's integration into global value chains, promoting exports and strengthening economic ties with Europe. Recognizing vulnerabilities exposed by global supply chain disruptions, India has prioritized strategic de-risking, particularly in critical minerals essential for its industrial and defense sectors. The Ministry of External Affairs, led by Dr. S. Jaishankar, has spearheaded a partnership initiative known as the Forge Initiative or Critical Minerals Partnership, involving 54 countries and the European Union. This initiative aims to diversify sources of rare earth elements and other critical minerals, reducing dependency on single suppliers and mitigating risks associated with supply concentration. Securing these resources is vital for India's technological advancement and defense manufacturing capabilities, reinforcing national security and economic resilience. Turning to security and regional stability, India continues to maintain a calm and stable environment along the line of actual control, LAC, with China. The government emphasizes ongoing diplomatic engagements and confidence-building mechanisms, such as the Working Mechanism for Consultation and Coordination, WMCC, and Corps Commander-level talks. The Ministry of External Affairs has addressed speculation regarding border activities by reiterating reliance on official Ministry of Defense statements and previous press releases. The overarching objective remains clear: to maintain peace, tranquility, and stability at the border, avoiding escalation while safeguarding sovereignty. India's diplomatic outreach to the United States has also been marked by bipartisan engagement, underscoring the strategic depth of this partnership. A delegation comprising prominent members of the U.S. Congress, including Democrats and Republicans such as Mike Rogers, Adam Smith, and Jimmy Patronis, recently met with Indian officials including External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar and the Defense Secretary. Discussions focused on a broad agenda covering trade, the situation in Ukraine, Indo-Pacific security, and defense sector cooperation. This bipartisan support enhances the durability of US-India ties beyond partisan politics, ensuring sustained collaboration on shared strategic interests. The Ministry of External Affairs has proactively addressed misinformation, notably denying reports published by Bloomberg about a secret meeting between National Security Advisor Ajit Doval and US Senator Marco Rubio. The MEA's official stance categorically stated that no such meeting or visit took place, reinforcing transparency and the importance of accurate information in diplomatic discourse. India continues to advocate for inclusive democratic processes in its neighborhood, maintaining consistent support for inclusive elections despite questions over specific party participation in upcoming polls. Moreover, the government is actively engaged in protecting its citizens abroad, exemplified by the recent update on 16 Indian sailors detained in Bandar Abbas. Consular access was granted, leading to the release and repatriation of 8 sailors, while ongoing efforts continue for the remaining 8. To summarize the key positions. On Russian oil, India follows a market-driven approach, diversifying sources with no-stop agreements. On US trade, the finalized 18% reciprocal tariff reduction marks a significant milestone. On Venezuelan oil, trade is paused due to sanctions, but India remains open to resuming imports when commercially and legally viable. On critical minerals, India supports strategic de-risking through the Forge initiative. On reports of secret meetings, the government denies these, emphasizing transparency. India is clearly charting a course that decouples economic and energy needs from political pressures amid a polarized international environment. By exercising strategic autonomy, India balances its diverse partnerships, ensuring that national interests remain paramount. Looking ahead, India plans to leverage the US tariff reduction to accelerate export growth, particularly under the Make in India campaign. Energy security will continue to be the government's supreme priority, addressing the needs of its 1.4 billion citizens. Security cooperation with the US will deepen, supported by bipartisan engagement, while India maintains independent management of its borders and regional stability. India's diplomatic landscape today is defined by pragmatic decision-making, strategic foresight, and an unwavering commitment to national interest. Through diversified global partnerships, economic initiatives, and robust security frameworks, India is positioning itself as a resilient and influential player on the world stage. Thank you for tuning into this detailed exploration of India's strategic imperatives and global partnerships. Stay with us for more insightful discussions on international affairs and policy analysis.